Hello to all. Find this general pick a jar collective reading. My name is Seven, and today we're going to be going over this Mercury retrograde in Aquarius that will have stirring up drama in the cosmos within the next 3.5 weeks. I had recorded this video originally 2 days ago, but I felt that the energy was so fresh and just so distorted and all over the place that I decided to take a moment to refresh and reground myself and come back to this video when I felt a bit more centered and also attuned to my higher being. So I cleaned up my space, made sure everything was nice and refreshed and sparkling clean before I sat down and decided to channel for you guys today, which coincidentally enough, at the time of recording this, the moon is in Scorpio and I am a natal Scorpio moon, so I think my intuition was knowing what she was doing when she told me that today was the day to re-record this video. And I think that's going to be a very big theme for this retrograde as well. I double checked the transits and it is in fact going to be in the sign of Aquarius. And we can anticipate a lot of unprovoked and at times even unprecedented channeled messages from our higher self or from our ancestors, as well as our spiritual council. And allowing those messages to come in may be a bit unreal, or also what's the word I'm looking for? A bit mystical at first. I noticed that channeling takes up a bit more of my energy than usual throughout this transit. So I think that taking as much time as we can to ground ourselves and also learn how to properly delegate our metaphysical energy amongst ourselves, our higher self, and the people around us as well will be a very big theme throughout these next 3 weeks. And I also want to note that Venus is also joining Aquarius in the madness of this retrograde. So I can also anticipate a lot of messages coming from the heart, kind of tapping into that more compassionate humanitarian aspect of Aquarius and being sincere and as compassionate as possible to ourselves and the people around us will be a very big thing. Ensuring that sincerity and gratitude are at the forefront of our interactions with the universe, and weaving out any and all obstacles or obstructions that serve to block or barricade us from our consciousness ascension and moving forward in accordance and conjunction with our greatest and highest good. So I am here with the white willow bark jar, the rose jar, and the rosemary jar today. I decided to get some herbs that were a bit more nurturing, with a bit of feminine energy attached to it, and also were a bit more protective as well, so we're able to come to realizations without judgment but with love instead. So under those we have the corresponding shapes of the eye, the heart, and the star today. So feel free to take a moment to pause right here if you need to and to settle in with the energy that you currently have and the current energetic state of the environment around you, and see which of these groups naturally calls to you, and feel open and willing to receive the entities and general essence of yourself and of the world around you, so you can gather synchronicities, signals, and messages accordingly. And I'll go ahead and get started on your readings. Hello to all of you that have chosen the Eye Collective and the white willow bark jar as your corresponding herb for today's messages. So let's go ahead and get into this tea, shall we? Let's see what exactly it is that we have going on throughout this Mercury retrograde. I'm doing things a little different today. I have my handy dandy tarot, of course, as well as my good old Halloween oracle. I really like to use that to kind of dig deeper into the shadow aspects of what's going on, see how we can utilize that as the light to guide us through the dark, kind of transmuting that energy a little bit. And I also have some channeled messages today for you guys as well. All of these I've written myself. These are just some random words that I think of when I think of tarot, and when I just generally think of the theme of divination in general and what it means to be connected to your higher state of consciousness, and the general aspects of the human experience that come with that. So I'm gonna go ahead and channel these after I get all the tarot out. So I'm gonna take these out the bag. Let's see what we got going on there. I have a wand that's a lot cuter than my friend gave me, but I don't know where it is right now actually, so I'm gonna use my Death Note pencil and see what it is that we got going on. But I mean, hey, I am a priestess after all, so not really surprised on that. Alright, putting her away, gathering her away. We already have a message here for you guys. I feel like this was left and came out last for a reason. It's the number 2. So I wouldn't be surprised if the theme of this particular reading has anything to do with union or reunions of some sort. It could be a reunion of people, or simply a reunion of ideas or thoughts, or collaboration even as well. I always see too as the opportunity to move forward and to gain some sort of fruits of labor with the combination of efforts and energy. So that's very interesting to get off the bat for you guys as the number. So let's go ahead and leave her there. I'm going to leave her at the top where I normally put the cards for the heart of the reading. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with the Crow Tarot. And as always, I'm going to leave all of the names of the decks that I'm using down below in the description, so we know what we're working with. Speaking of to Miss High Priestess, hi mama. So let's see what else that we got. Alright, let's see. For my beautiful eye collective spirit, what can they expect during this Mercury retrograde? And what can they do to combat any challenges? Passion. Let's see. What can I expect? Whoop, whoop, whoop. Okay. We got 2 cards for your heart, which I don't think is a surprise. And then we have 7. Alright, so we have the 7 of Wands and we have the Hanged Man. So for your group, I'm feeling a bit of reluctance to release and to simply allow things to be. With the Hanged Man present, I definitely see kind of like that Pisces energy, which is what the Hanged Man is ruled by as a sign. Yeah, now we have the 10 of Wands. There's a lot that you currently have on your plate, and there are things that you need to release accordingly, but you're not entirely sure how. For others of you, I feel as if you kind of play devil's advocate with yourself when it comes down to you reaching out to others and asking for help. You don't really allow that. You're very self-assured. You have a very strong sense of willpower, which I think is beautiful. But I think that the key in you overcoming any obstacles or general challenges that present themselves throughout this retrograde, and also be mindful that retrogrades don't always have to stir up trouble or drama, so to speak. I also want to point out that retrograde could simply point out something that you need to do over, or something that you need to start again or revisit, or if you've been waiting on something, this is the time where it finally comes through. And I think that what's going on with your group is that there's something that you're currently waiting for as well. I think that you are waiting for some sort of release from your problems, or you're waiting for some sort of signal or message or information to come through, so you're able to better delegate your current circumstances and general responsibilities. I feel like you are looking for help, but you aren't entirely sure of where to ask. I kind of get the idea of, I kind of get the idea of the what is it? That Neptunian energy that is akin to Pisces, where there's a bit of a level of elusiveness present. Yes, we currently have the Nine of Wands at the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, I had to count to make sure. This is the Nine of Wands. Hello. So there's perseverance with your group. I see a lot of independence here, and that's a good thing. There's nothing wrong with you. Yes, you're very self-assured. There's a lot of fire in this group. There's a lot of determination, a lot of willpower present, and an unwillingness to accept the possibility of defeat. I think that you need to be able to reach out to others in order for you to get through with this dough. For some of you, I see that while you do have a great level of independence, when it comes down to you asking for help, you feel as if that's you slighting yourself in some way. I feel as if you being so pent up on this King of Pentacles energy, where there's self-assurance, self-sufficiency, ensuring that you can rely on yourself first and foremost, so you are able to better delegate your resources and time to the people around you accordingly, and assure that you also keep your energy level as grounded as possible is really important to you. And I feel that in order for you to gain that sense of grounding, you have to be able to release the notion that asking for help is wrong. If it is of any resonance for some of you, maybe perhaps you are looking for some sort of mental health counselor, or perhaps for some of you, you're looking for general help with some sort of plan or business that you have cooking in the books for you. I also see with the Page of Swords here, this is mainly about mental fortitude and also just general workings. This is kind of you re-examining your mental state and looking to maximize its efficiency, so to speak, and maximize the flexibility you have in between all of these great ideas. And in order for you to get the most out of your general drive and healing as well, because this is kind of like the best of both worlds, if I'm honest. Like, not only are you able to get adequate assistance, but it's also assistance that is sustainable in its own way, that allows you to really be assured of yourself and the people around you that you are on the right track and you are doing the best you can with what you have. The King of Pentacles is extremely resourceful, and he's also very much a planner as well. With all the Wands energy here, Wands is very spontaneous and fiery, but I see that you are kind of like suddenly breaking out of this period of stagnation, or this period of perceived isolation. I feel that there's a new perspective to be gained here with the Hanged Man, after a period of waiting and kind of just sitting back and reflecting on yourself and the energy around you. And I think that a lot of you are coming to the realization that you can't constantly feel so cornered, or as if you have to carry all of these wands and all of this passion and just general energy by yourself. There is a smarter way to delegate your time at the moment. And I think that by you reaching out to the appropriate people that are able to help you in ways that are not only practical but also useful to help declutter your mental space is important at the moment. So if you have like people like that are really able to keep you grounded, like say you have a good old reliable earth sign in your friend circle, or perhaps you have people in your family, perhaps an elder that emanates more centered masculine energy. They don't have to be masculine in terms of physical appearance, but the energy and just the general aura that they give off could be reminiscent of such. And they're able to provide you with a lot of reassurance and a lot of comfort during a time where you feel a bit overburdened by the weight of the circumstance that you will come across. However, you will persevere, and there is definitely a victory on the horizon for you. So it is nothing to be wary of. What I will say is to just be very open to opportunities of collaboration and to allow other people to assist you in your own way, and for you to definitely take your time. I don't feel as if you have to rush to engage in these new ideas or prospects. I think that you taking the time throughout this retrograde to root them and to mainly root yourself is important, so you are able to better deliver your essence to this collaboration of efforts. If it doesn't have to do with some sort of project or general work that you have, and if this is strictly an internal or healing matter, then I definitely think that you reaching out to people around you and not feeling as if you have to carry all your burdens by yourself is important throughout this retrograde. Seeking counsel is important, even if it's just spiritual counsel, before you're able to really find a therapist. Not saying that tarot replaces therapy, but it definitely does provide a lot of insight to your world and your place in it, and it can be very helpful. At times it can be a bit overwhelming, so if you have been overdoing it with tarot, then perhaps this is the time to slow it down a little bit. Maybe you binge watch tarot or general divination videos. I'd say that this is a good time to refocus on centering your energy and allowing the universe to take its natural growth, so to say. Let it organically spread and seed throughout your world, and take time for you. Taking time for you is very important throughout this retrograde, my eye collective, so you can gain a more informed and grounded perspective on how you're able to move forward. I think that there will be a few situations that present themselves where you feel as if you have to defend yourself, or where you feel as if you kind of have to step away from the world around you. But I don't think that it is going to be helpful if that's something that you end up constantly doing. I think that there's a delicate give and take between taking time for you and taking time to reach out to others, so you don't feel burdened, and also so you're able to work better with the people around you. Because I see that if you spend too much time on your own, kind of stuck in your head, then you won't really be able to get your ideas or even physical vessel off the ground, if I'm honest. So if anything, I think this is a great time to redelegate your schedule, kind of block out a few days to yourself, and then have a few other days where you're able to do this other people, visit other people or spend time with them. If you have a job that has demanding hours, maybe you can alternate between weeks, between taking time for yourself on the days that you do have off, and then spending time with others the following week, kind of having like some sort of what's the word I'm looking for? Switch. There we go. Some sort of switch in between prioritization, so nobody feels left out, and also so you don't feel as if you're leaving yourself out throughout this process. Yes, again, we have the Ten of Swords, and we also have the High Priestess, again, number 2. Hi! It's so funny because we saw the High Priestess come out with the Crow Tarot deck. So yeah, there definitely is a burden of thoughts. I feel that you probably are also getting a lot of messages, especially with the Hangman and the Ten of Swords underneath. With the High Priestess present, definitely it's saying that any messages that you do get in this moment are not meant to overwhelm you, but are meant for you to further examine the clutter that is surrounding your mental space at the moment, and to take time to clear all of that out. I think that clarity baths or meditation will be very beneficial for you throughout this time, I Collective, and taking time just for you when you are engaging with the spiritual world is important. Not necessarily feeling as if you have to give in a lot of energy, but just allowing yourself to take a chance to simply sit in your own and to be comforted, consoled, and empowered by the power you retain, and not feeling as if you have to go to great lengths to prove your power, but rather just knowing that you are powerful is important. Knowing that your mind is such a strong vessel and epicenter of energy, and giving it the chime, hello. I think maybe that's so funny, the Hertz music chimed when I said that. I think that maybe you working with sound baths or getting spiritual tools to help cleanse your space throughout this retrograde will be very, very useful for you. I definitely say with perhaps some smudge sticks or a singing bowl would be very beneficial. Something that can just keep the air very clear, so you are giving yourself the chance to ground your meditative space, and for the energy that is yours and is in accordance with your greatest and highest good to really just stay present, and providing your guides and counsel a clear energy to work with you in as well is important. It's kind of like cleaning your house before guests come over. That's the way that I like to put it. I also like to make sure that I leave my guides a little something. Like currently I have a cup of coffee for them on the table right now. So that'll also be very helpful for you as well, to ensure that your guides are present. Maybe you can get a physical reminder by observing any offerings that you leave for them, and allowing them to comfort you, and knowing that you really are not alone. And you are always surrounded by the love and appreciation of the entities and human beings around you. Oh my god, yes, we have the Knight of Swords here. So there are definitely messages that are meant to come to you from higher realms throughout this time, which is probably why I was saying it's important for you to take time for yourself throughout this period, because you are definitely the group that is very sensitive to all of the air energy that we currently have within the astrological transits at the moment. Especially now that we have Mercury in an Aquarius, you're going to be getting a lot of, oh my god, yeah, more swords. We have the Page of Swords now, so we have Page of Swords in both decks. So yeah, you're getting a lot of messages, and the Emperor. I definitely see a lot of messages coming through for your group that are meant to help empower you for sure, and show you the way in which, or new ways I should say, that you can experiment with your divination and esotericism. We have the Nine of Wands again at the bottom of the deck. Oh my goodness. Sorry, I'm gagged. I'm so gagged. These are your guides present here now, my I Collective. They have so much to say to you. Please take time to speak to them throughout this retrograde. That's important. That's the main message that I'm currently getting at the moment. Especially with the High Priestess and the Emperor, those are two very powerful figures of the major arcana. The Emperor I see as the guardian of the physical world, and the High Priestess the guardian of the metaphysical world. So to see both of them present here and now, like that fluidity of feminine and masculine energy, that fire and water, that duality, and just general balance of entities with all of the air energy here, that's very intuitive, very connected to the third eye and crown chakra. And to see the King of Pentacles present as well, which is very grounding and earthy. There's a little bit of everything present with you, my eye collective. There's pretty much every element present in your reading. So I definitely think that this is a great time for you to focus on balancing your spirit and allowing yourself to gain guidance from new guys that have been around you, but you haven't really channeled yet. They know you, but I think this is the time for you to take time to get to know them. Even if it's a relative or loved one that you know that has passed on, I think they have a lot of messages to give you, and I think you have to simply take the time to reintroduce yourself in your current state to them so they have a proper idea of where to guide you. Because I feel like even if they're physically present, they know what's going on in your life, they need a clearer idea of what it is that you are needing to heal as a person. They need to know what you need. I think that's the collaborative message that I was getting, which is why 2 kept coming out, and that we have both of the energies at the bottom of both decks, the exact same card, and then similar cards coming out. This is definitely a message from your guides, because under that we have the Knave of Cups, which is the Page of Cups. So there's definitely a deliverance here, and I feel like they definitely miss you. I didn't mean to get emotional for your group, my eye collective, but this is just where it's going. I see that currently you are a bit burdened in your realm, and you have a lot going on, and I feel like the messages that they have to you are to help you better gain a sense of clarity and gain a perspective on how to move forward, and to really unload your burden and to guide you towards the right people and places that will help you find means of release. Because under that we have the Queen of Cups as well. This is very mystical energy. This is a feminine figure that is very attuned to the metaphysical world, and I think that you taking the time to really embody that Queen of Cups energy, where you are allowing yourself to be fluid in emotion and energy, allowing yourself to be connected to all parts of you in order for you to connect to the world around you, will be very big for you throughout this retrograde. And now under that we have the Fool too, and the King of Wands. So that's definitely a journey and exploration ahead of you, and I think that they're providing you this information so you can be well on your way towards a path that has much more promise and much more happiness and expansion ahead, and to help you reignite your sense of purpose and your sense of spark. I feel like you feel a bit lost in the sauce right now with everything going on, and I think that they're helping you find that sense of clarity and helping you kill off any sense of doubt that you are not on the current path that is meant for you, because you are on the right path. Even if you feel if you're someone that's very assured of yourself and very strong-willed, and you feel a bit inexperienced at the moment, even if you have been working in your esotericism and divination and higher self for years now. I even have moments where I do divination work and I feel like I don't know what the hell I'm doing, hence me re-recording this video. So I think that not being hard on yourself and knowing that you're not disempowered, you are evolving. I feel like that's a very big key for you. This took a bit of a turn in terms of messaging, but I think that's the point. That's Mercury retrograde for you. It's full of surprises, but I love that. I love that there's this revelation of love, and that love really does surround you. I really wanted to focus more on love in this particular recording, because I wanted to see how we can use that as the light to guide us forward in the dark, and to really just shine on our world. Oh, the light came through when I say that. Really just shine on our world and see how we're able to pave a path forward even when things aren't as obvious as they seem. We have 3 cards here. I feel called to take all of these for you guys. So we have the veil, the future, hearth, happiness in our hearts and homes, yes. And then we have barmbrack, sweetness and synergy. Yes, exactly. Synergy is always about 2 different forms of energy coming together and fusing together. So there is definitely that collaborative energy present, and you digging deeper into your home or your sense of home and the people and energies that make you feel the most grounded and connected with yourself is your priority for this retrograde. So that way you're able to definitely gain a clearer picture of what the future is. You don't have to feel as if there's this veil. I feel like your guides are here to help you lift the veil and to see the possibilities around you and to see what exactly it is that they hold as well. I think the messages that they have are very much going to be about any opportunities that you have, and you taking the time to really be open to what they have to say is important. So they know that they are able to not necessarily intervene, but provide the proper consultation and not feel as if they're just coming in and fucking shit up. You know what I mean? They just want to be assured that you are allowing them to be present and there for you, and that's because they simply respect you, and they respect your choice of free will, and they respect your mind. Most importantly, they see the power that you hold, and they know not to second guess you. So they want to be assured that they can provide you adequate assistance and that you feel comfortable with receiving it, so that way it doesn't feel or you don't feel as if you're a bit powerless in any situations. They want you to feel empowered. They want you to feel loved. They want you to feel heard, most importantly. So definitely take the time to maybe petition it out, especially with all the swords energy here. That's Mercury, so maybe writing or having a journal for dreams, or having a journal where you write general messages to your guides and kind of just leaving it out and seeing what synchronicities and messages you get from there could be really helpful. Perhaps if you are someone that wants to do like a light spell to allow guides in and to guide you, perhaps leaving them a letter would be helpful. If you don't feel as if you can say everything that's on your mind right now, or perhaps you don't feel as if you have the time or the energy to, perhaps writing it out will be a bit more efficient with time, and also will help you keep your wants and needs concise. Yes, exactly. With the witch, the earthly weaver of the world. So this kind of speaks for itself. With the witch and the high priestess present, I definitely think that you guys are so powerful, and you have so much beautiful mystical energy. Yes, the lamp, remembrance, and I feel like you needed to be reminded of that. You need to be reminded of how powerful you are, and I think that you allowing your guides in throughout this retrograde will definitely be that reminder. It will definitely remind you of the bitch that you are, the bad bitch that you are, I should say, and really help you, give you a lot of proper consultation, you know, because your guides will never lie to you. They will never set you up for failure. They will never lead you astray. They will always provide you the best information and path forward, because they see your higher self for what it is, even if you can, or even if you don't know what that could manifest in a tangible form. They know what it is. They see it and work with it constantly. So they understand your essence. However, you have to also translate it, because you are also your own entity, and they want to better understand just how exactly you work with it, so to say. So I'm gonna get some of these channel messages. It's so funny, I'm talking about petitioning and I have a pencil. I need a pencil. Does anyone remember that video? Well, I have one, bitch. What's up? So I'm gonna use this to kind of be my wand or my guide. You know, the pencil is mightier than the sword. So here we are. Alright, so for my I collective spirit, what channel messages do you have for them to guide them with love throughout this Mercury Retrograde? Some of these are numbers and some of these are just words, so Let's see. I think that's good. I think they don't have much more to say. All right, we'll stop here. All right, let me get everything centered. Okay, let's see. Ooh, oh my God. I need to get up. We keep seeing number 10. The first number that comes out is 10. So yeah, there's endings here. There's a lot of ending to tough cycles here. You ending the feelings as if you feel alone or as if you have to do everything by yourself. I don't think you have to anymore. Especially here, like the way that I wrote the 10, there's the 0 and there's there are 2 slashes through the 0. So I think that there's more collaborative efforts to this new beginning than you realize, and that starts with you being your source of collaboration, which I know sounds very strange and a bit of like a juxtaposition at first, but I think it's to remind you of the power that you have and how far your essence scatters across the ether, and to remind you that you are just never alone. Oh yeah, so we have recognition here. I think that this is about you recognizing your guides and your guides recognizing how your higher self is currently manifesting within the 3D world. They need an idea of what they can do to best complement your growth and also celebrate it as well, because they also have a lot of love to also offer you as well as guidance. So they want to just be able to celebrate you accordingly in the best way possible and to show you the respect that you deserve, and that is within the theme of reciprocation, you showing them respect as well. Yes, here we have retina, and when I thought of this, I thought of the crown chakra. So, and that's so funny. Wow, you're the eye collective, and here we have the one message that has an eye drawn on it. So I definitely think that you channeling information is important. It's so funny because I have crown chakra hertz music playing in the back right now. So perhaps it'll also be helpful for you to ground your thoughts, ground all the information you are gathering, and so everything doesn't feel so overbearing, and also help you clear it out afterwards, especially after you do a meditative session, so you don't feel as if everything is still kind of just lingering in the atmosphere. We also have genitalia. Hello, this is sacral chakra energy. So with this present, I definitely think that another power source is your genitalia. So if you are also someone that is single, I feel like you are my people that are like bad bitches that don't care if you have a partner or not. Then I feel as if utilizing masturbation and sex magic will be great to help you really revitalize your energy and reconnect with yourself, and also unload a lot of stress. If you are in a relationship, having meaningful moments of intimacy with your partner will be very helpful for you, and to take it slow throughout that process is important. You can also utilize baths or meditation to help with clearing your sacral chakra as well throughout this time, because that is another epicenter of energy. It's where a lot of our creativity stems from within our chakra system, and it can also be helpful to clear it out so you can gain a clearer sense of ambition and reasoning when you are engaging forward in your path and purpose. Here we have recalibrate. Yes, this is definitely going to be a big one for you guys. Recalibrate your energy and thoughts, especially with all of the swords energy that's present. I think you taking that time, taking a bit of time to not feel so overburdened is important, but you will continue to persevere and to gain stamina and general momentum from you having a few moments of stillness and from you taking time to heal. Like that's not stopping you, that's not slowing you down or taking away any energy from you. In fact, it's giving you more than you may realize, if I'm honest. And here, who is she? We have retribution. Hello. Yes, there's definitely spirit talking throughout this. She has entered the chat for sure. She is definitely here for you. She's on your retribution. She's definitely trying to help you be well onto your redemption arc, so to say, and help you gain that sense of, yes, that sense of abundance and general prosperity that you need. We have 88 here, and I always think of wellness and just general prosperity whenever I see the number 8. So they are definitely trying to help you get on that redemption arc, so you're able to acclaim that sense of balance that you need. Yes, another 8. We have reason, and that starts with you again being closer to your purpose, and they are helping you be a lot closer to your purpose and to your general soul mission as well. A lot of the information that they have for you is definitely in relation to that. So definitely do not be afraid to ask questions throughout this time and see what answers that they have accordingly, especially with the number 4 here. I think of the 4 of Wands, and I also think of the general the seeing of that perspective where you need collaboration and you need to take that chance and take that general movement forward accordingly, not feeling satiated in your current circumstance, and seeing that there is so much more that you are able to acclaim. And I think your guides are definitely bearers of information that can help you achieve the harmony and happiness that you are working so hard for, my I Collective. So that is what I am currently seeing for you for this Mercury retrograde. I hope it resonates. If you have any general questions or comments, you can leave that down below. I always try to get back to them to the best of my ability. Also feel free to like and subscribe if you're digging my general forecast and deliverance of such. I'm definitely getting into the groove of uploading more often. I tend to only come out when the moon does, but I'm getting a lot more ideas of messages and readings that I can do for you guys, which is wonderful. So I'll definitely be a little bit more out of the woodworks moving forward. So thank you so much for spending some time with me and taking time to be present with yourself and with the world around you, and for also just being here as well. Please stay safe, please stay easy and gentle and loving with yourselves, and I will speak with you soon. Bye. Hello to all of you that have chosen the Heart Collective and the Rose Jar as your corresponding herb for today's messages. So let's go ahead and get on into this tea, shall we? Let's see what exactly it is that we can anticipate to see throughout this Mercury retrograde for you, my beautiful Heart Collective, and how exactly you are able to transmute the darkness into light. How are you able to move forward accordingly throughout this retrograde period with love as your tool and navigational system forward. So let's see what it is that we got going on. We're also doing things a little bit differently today. Not only do I have my handy dandy tarot, all the decks will be in the description as always, but I also have some channeled messages that I have written down in my cute little bowl for you guys. I don't have my wand. I do have a wand for this. I'm that extra. I am a priestess. But I do have my good old Santa Muerte Death Note pencil. I mean, the pen is mightier than the sword. Well, pencil, I should say. Which is fun. I feel like it makes things a bit more personalized, but it also helps narrow down the energy as well. So I'll be getting a few of those out after I pull all of your cards. So let's see what it is that we got going on for you, my Heart Collective. What can you speak about this Mercury retrograde? Compassion. Ooh. Alright, so right off the bat we have the Six of Cups, very cute, as the heart of your reading. So I definitely think that this definitely has to do with messages of love and compassion, looking to see how you are able to rekindle some sort of emotional matter, or perhaps you're just thinking a lot about the past throughout this retrograde, which is a very big theme of Mercury retrogrades. Yes, now we have the Two of Swords. I see a bit of confliction within this reflection, though. Like, you realizing that there is a decision that needs to be made. You need to come to some sort of common ground between the past and the present, so you are able to move forward accordingly. The Five of Wands is here. Okay, so there's confliction. The confliction is the past. Perhaps somebody from the past is coming back. Someone that kind of left a bit suddenly, and now you are not entirely sure what their intentions are as they present themselves to you. For others of you, yes, the Knight of Swords. So this is definitely a deliverance of truth for some of you. Let's see what other card flew out. Yes, the Hanged Man. This also came out for the first group as well. So let me get these cards here. Let's get one more card. I do want to get more of a concise and precise idea of this energy. Oh, okay, yeah, we got the Six of Pentacles present now. And your bottom deck energy for this is the Seven of Cups. Yes, there are choices that need to be made. Okay, now I have a better idea of what's going on here. So, with the Five of Wands being further clarified by the Knight of Swords, I definitely see this as a deliverance of truth. For others of you, if this isn't a particular person that comes back, I definitely see you realizing by reflecting on your past what the truth is. Perhaps you're reflecting on past conflict, and you're wondering how you are able to forgive yourself for your mistakes of the past. For others of you, I see how you are utilizing this time to reflect on everything that you have culminated for yourself now, and how you are able to better redistribute your energy accordingly. Perhaps there are people around you that have expectations of you that are very much akin to previous versions of you, and now you kind of have to set the record straight. If I'm honest, you gotta be like, no, actually I don't do that anymore, or I don't think like that anymore, or I don't do this or that anymore. For others of you, it could be as simple as like someone like phoning you and asking if you are still able to do this or that, and you're like, oh no, like I haven't done that in years or I haven't thought of doing that in years. And perhaps this is the time for you to revisit that notion. If there's an idea that you have, something that once brought you happiness, and now you are suddenly presented with the idea of starting it again, I think this is the proper time to do so, especially with the Seven of Cups being clarified by the King of Cups underneath, and then we have the Four of Cups under that. And this is so funny because I shuffled, I fucking like saged, and not sage, Palo Santo in my room and everything, and the same like two cards in the same order came out, and I like shuffled the hell out of these cards, what I think is that's so funny. But with the King of Cups here, I definitely think you need to deliver your truth. The King of Cups knows how he feels. He just he keeps it, not because he's repressing his emotions, but because he knows how to compose himself. So I think that you being very like honest with yourself and the people around you in a composed manner. You don't have to be as confrontational as, you know, like the Five of Wands presents itself to be. But I do think that you have to set a record straight. I think that is going to be a very big theme for you throughout this retrograde, my heart collective. If there is another person coming back, you have to set very clear boundaries and standards for the relationship that you are going to have with this person, so that way there is a sense of balance and reciprocation present. For others of you, I think that you reincorporating a old hobby or idea, anything that brings you joy, brings your inner child joy, and finding ways to incorporate that into your schedule will be a thing for you throughout this Mercury retrograde. There's a very big idea of choice present, but it's choices that are being made with your heart space, with the King of Cups underneath that. And under that, like I said earlier, with that Four of Cups, it's not being afraid to take that opportunity when it presents itself, because it's something that's meant to nourish and enrich your life. So I definitely think that you taking a chance, or even like taking a chance for your own heart space. Let's say you don't want this person around, or you don't want to reflect on what this person did to you, and you decide to say, no, I don't want you here. I want to actually work on myself. I think that this is going to give you a very clear idea. Whatever this message is, or when it presents itself to you, I definitely think that's going to give you a very clear idea of where you currently are in your state of healing, and it's going to give you that firm stance that you need to speak your truth accordingly, so that way you don't feel as if you're spreading yourself thin or giving your energy to people or opportunities that are simply going to take and not give to you. You are very big on ensuring that you reap what you sow, and I think that is definitely a big theme for you throughout this time, and you ensuring that you are able to really be there for yourself while you reflect on the possibilities is important, especially with the Hanged Man. If you feel like when the idea presents itself, or the opportunity to connect with someone or something presents itself, if you feel as if you need a moment to just meditate on it and think before you act or speak, then that is the wise thing to do. I think with retrogrades, it's just generally across the board always a fantastic idea to think before you speak or do, and just read the fine print accordingly, so to speak. So I think that even with this person, or when you are speaking your truth to other people, making it very clear about who you are right here, right now, it's kind of like you setting up that terms and conditions within your dynamicism. Not that there are conditions. There's a better way to phrase that. Love is not conditional. It never has and never will be conditional. But I think it's more so of the terms and conditions of your energy, and just generally what it is that you're able to do right now, and what your current standards of living and being are. I feel like those are just some clauses that you have to make very clear. It's not some sort of interference or anything that's serving as a barricade at all. I think if anything, you're blocking, you're removing blockages, and you are making things very clear by setting the record straight, and be very, 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 very honest and clear with yourself throughout this retrograde, and take some time to think before you speak to anyone, even you. That's a big message that I'm getting for you, my heart collective. I think that you are very loving and deeply feeling people, especially with that King of Cups that popped out under the Seven of Cups. I think that any choice that you make, you always try to make it with the consideration of your feelings and the feelings of others, which I think is beautiful. And I would never ever sway anyone from communicating with from a place of compassion. I think that you communicating from a place of compassion, but doing so firmly, is going to be a theme for you. Yes, with the Knight of Coins here, slow and steady wins the race. So if you, again, with that Hanged Man energy, Pisces is very elusive. You know when they're there, but they come and go just as quickly, which I think is very funny. Like, you don't know when they come in, you don't know when they leave, but you just know when they're like right next to you. When that's kind of like the energy of water. Water really is anywhere. It's in our atmosphere. We see it in the ocean, but we don't really take into account just how infinite its presence is until it's right in front of us, or currently tangibly present within our reality. So this is that theme of tangible efforts growing with the Knight of Coins here. I think that by you setting these boundaries with yourself, and by you engaging in your heart space is important, and it's going to set up a lot of fruitful outcomes for you. It's all about that sustainable love with that Knight of Coins and with the Six of Coins present too. I love seeing Pentacles present in readings that regard other people, because that shows to me that there's a very sincere investment in building energy. And I think that it's very important to have that, as much as it's important to have the lovey-dovey fantasy of the Cups energy and suit in tarot. I love Pentacles because they're so reliable and they're so grounding as well. It's very big heart chakra energy. So I think that you engaging with your heart space realistically and delivering that messages from a place of groundedness and also acceptance is important, because the Nine of Coins is all about you accepting or seeing all of the fruits of your labor, and you just kind of sitting in your own garden of love and success and standing proudly in it. And I think that this is your time to stand very proudly in your garden, my heart collective. And if anyone decides to come into your garden, they are a guest at the end of the day, because you are the one that is putting in the most time, energy, and resources into growing it. And if other people are going to be a part of it, they also must have something to contribute as well, especially with the Six of Pentacles. So I think that you ensuring that the company, sorry about that, heart collective, my camera randomly cut off for some reason, but we are back again. Hello, is that Mercury? Wow, look, I can't even talk. It's the retrograde. Let's take a minute to sit in for a moment, shall we? Let's reshuffle. Let's get back into our groove, get back into our zone. But like I was saying, with that Nine of Coins and that Six of Coins present, redistribution and reciprocation is important. Ensuring that anyone that has a place in your garden has something to contribute as well is very important for you. And I think that you holding that virtue at the forefront of your heart space and allowing in people and opportunities accordingly, and reflecting on the past so you are assured of the present, will be a very big theme for you throughout this retrograde. So let's see what else we got for you, my heart collective. Like, how can they move forward with love and compassion throughout this Mercury? You know what, this card, I saw it come out earlier. So we're gonna have those. Okay, apparently these two want to come out as well. Okay. All right. Your bottom deck energy is death. This was your original bottom deck energy, which I think is crazy. Like, when I finished shuffling for your group, after I finished clearing out all the energy and I looked at the bottom, I saw death. Normally I do that to get an idea of what the next group's reading will be about, and here we are again. So there's definitely a change, and that's you recognizing who you are and rebirthing yourself accordingly. And under that we have the Ten of Wands. So there's in order for you to release the burdens of the past, you must be honest and aware with the present, and not being afraid to communicate that with the people around you. Scorpio energy is brutally honest, to say the least. As a Scorpio moon, hi. But also it is originally ruled by Mars, even though now it is normally akin to Pluto. So there is still that very fiery, passionate, yet integral energy present with Scorpio. And I think that you having very clear boundaries is necessary in order for you to have the love you are seeking, or the harmony you are seeking to grow accordingly. With the Lover's card coming out, this definitely is about a lover for a lot of you. This is definitely about another person coming in, and I think that you being real about how the past made you feel and who you are now and what you are and are not willing to put up with, and ensuring that your standards reflect that accordingly will be key in you having a successful relationship with this person. For others of you, it's just simply about choices, and ensuring that the choices you make are made with love but also made with intention, because the Lover's card is still ruled by Mercury at the end of the day. Mercury is very analytical and very systematic, so ensuring that the love you allow in is reinforcing to the system that you have built for yourself is a key theme for you here. Because now we also have the Queen of Wands, and the Queen of Wands is the hot bitch of the tarot world, if I'm honest. She's very reassured of herself and very assured of the decisions that she makes, and you know, she's Miss Thing, she's popular, she's very fiery and passionate, and that's exactly why she is so praised and loved, because she is not afraid to be herself and stand her ground. Irregardless of your gender identity, I think that you embodying this Queen of Wands energy, just being very unapologetic about what you deserve and what you need to feel your most celebrated and loved as a person, is important. I feel like you expect the opposite, which is why this retrograde seems a bit jarring. Like every time you are very firm about yourself and what you aren't willing to accept, other people tend to either see that as a challenge and do it anyways, or try to chastise or antagonize you for having these standards. But I don't think that's the outcome at all in your case. If anything, I think that this will further drive you with the Page of Wands present. I think that it will make you or the other person want to continue deepening this exploration of you overall, and an exploration of the relationship you retain. If this is about that hobby or idea that you had, that's something that you once did, I think that this is definitely worth looking into further. And I think that there's not only a lot of promise but a lot of fun with this idea or hobby revisiting you. I think that it's revisiting you at the right time. I think that it seems a bit ridiculous at first because you're like, oh well, I did that so long ago, you know, why would I do it now? Like, I don't even know if I would be able to get anything out of it. But I think there is so much more to gain from engaging in this than you realize. I think it's just about you seeing your choices thoroughly and clearly for what you are, and outlining those terms that we were talking about. Yeah, exactly. The underworld, where all things pause and begin again. Period. Do you see what I mean? Come on, intuition. Like, especially with the pomegranate here. Anything that you begin again is meant to definitely, again, enrich and nourish your life. And I think that this is coming back around for the right reason. Is for you to rebirth a new part of yourself, a much more empowered and also fiery version of yourself, and being celebrated for doing so. Yes, the mummy change, hello, come on. So especially we were just talking about fire, and then we have like this big sun present, and then this is Egypt, of course, that normally has much more arid and hot temperatures. So I definitely think that this is your chance to resurrect old ideas, or even like parts of yourself, and just like speaking to it, and you know, allowing the person that you are now to reflect on the person you were then, and seeing where the common ground is, and celebrating that common ground in your present by using it as fuel to build a better future. Whoop, that's too much. But this card wants to come out. Yes, we had the Skull of Stars, exactly. Infinite possibilities. There is so much that you can gain by stepping into the unknown here, but it doesn't have to be the unknown. I think that if you are, exactly, fortune meets opportunity. I think that if you are simply very clear about your intentions and very clear about yourself and the people around you throughout this process, and you're being as concise as possible I feel is important, especially with that fiery energy with the Queen of Wands, like very quick and to the point. I feel like that's very much your mode of deliverance normally. But I think that the challenge here is you taking that moment to reflect, so you can communicate with openness and honesty. I also know that with your particular group, there is yeah, exactly, because I see the Six of Wands and I see the Two of Cups here. So you need to be there's a celebration of you here, a celebration of the person that you are now, and recognizing what exactly it is that you've been through. Exactly, because now we have the future, and there are infinite possibilities in your future. You just have to allow yourself to stand affirmed in your current state, and not be afraid to be open about it. Um, and be open with the people around you about how you've been feeling, because I'm still thinking about that King of Cups energy that we saw earlier. Yeah, I think that you feel as if you communicate your terms and conditions, as we've been seeing openly and honestly, you feel as if you'll regret it, but there is no regret here. I think that is an unnecessary fear at the end of the day, and that there really is nothing to fear but fear itself in this particular case. But also accepting that your fear is simply attempting to protect you. Even if its method is distorted, it is the intention that's pure. And I think that you reminding yourself of your intentions and the purity of them, just by simply allowing them to be straight and to the point, will be effective. But that comes after a period of reflection, after you take the time to realize what's most important to you. That way you're able to deliver it accurately and clearly to yourself and the people around you. Yes, exactly. The lore and legacy of your DNA. Maybe even talking to somebody might be a bit helpful for you. Perhaps contacting a spirit guide or someone that you just trust. Exactly. Wise seeing, wise action. That knows who you are now in and out, and is help you exactly, and is willing to help you accordingly. I think that you reaching out to a spirit guide will be very helpful for you, which is very much the theme of group 1. So perhaps if you need reassurance of that, you can also check out the I Collective as well, and see if there are any messages that may resonate there for you too. But I think that you paying attention to the synchronicities is important. Don't kid yourself. You know yourself, you know your mind, you know how sharp it is, and you know also how big your heart space is as well. So take both of those into account. Don't take one into account more than the other. And also know that this is meant to reassert the changes that you've made for yourself. It's not meant to throw you off your feet or trigger you in some way. I feel like if anything, it's meant to help you better understand just what exactly it is that you are evolving into, my heart collective. This came out right away. Yes, reconstruct. This is meant for you to help reconstruct your foundations and general being, and to serve as a checkpoint, if anything, and reassure you that you are changing, and that there is absolutely no one or anything that gets in the way of that. But there is more commonalities between the past and the present than you realize, and they are not bad. It's just meant to affirm your character and your interests, and help you nurture all parts of yourself accordingly. So let's get into this cute little bowl and see what other messages I have for you, my heart collective, for this Mercury retrograde. How can we move forward with love and compassion and move with them, see in the dark? See if there's anything else. Okay. Alright, I think that's it for you guys. Let's leave that there. Let me gather all of her. Alright, let's see. So we have 0. Yeah, this is a redo. This is definitely a redo. I think of the Fool immediately when I think of the number 0. This is meant for you to start over, all things pause and begin again. But even if it's beginning again, I don't think it's meant for you to entirely wipe the slate clean. I think it's meant for you to study what was on it beforehand and read it and add something onto it that is much more meaningful. Yeah, with the number 3 here, there's a building. This is a new cycle. It's not necessarily you tearing everything down, even with the death card here is present, because there's also the rebirth process of Scorpio, and that's about taking the energy of the past and transmuting it into the fuel that is necessary to move forward throughout the present and the future. Yes, repurpose. This is definitely meant for you to repurpose old energy and to allow it to become. The best way I could put this is kind of like recycling. Recycling old energy is just something that is much more sustainable for your future. Yes, we have a number 3. This is 33. This is the master builder number of numerology. So I definitely think that this is all about you rebuilding something with meaning this time around. And here we also have relinquish with the number 5. So this is meant for you to release any negative associations of the past and allow it to exist in the present in its own form and life as well, allowing it to grow organically again, and seeing that it has a chance to repurpose. Yes, oh, you're the heart group, and we have the heart chakra that came out. You are such deep, beautiful feelers, and it makes me so happy. I'm feeling like the Scorpio watery energy of this group, and it's beautiful. And this is about grounding your soul. That's why I drew a tree on it. So perhaps even like engaging in nature as well will be very helpful for you if you feel as if you need some sort of break or meditation to help you gather your thoughts. Maybe even take a pen and paper with you, or a journal, or even your phone. Just open the handy dandy notes app. Is anyone else out there with millions of sad letters and love letters in their notes app? So I think that you just being open about your heart and what it's been through and what it's currently feeling is important, just generally for you. But I think especially during this retrograde, in order for you to embark on this repurposed opportunity, it's especially important. Yes, we have the 44 here. We just saw the heart chakra. So this is definitely, I definitely think that you working with your heart chakra will be very beneficial for you throughout this retrograde to help you feel grounded and centered. I also think that this is about you seeing an opportunity and not being afraid to take it, and not being afraid to see what exactly it holds for you in terms of fulfillment. I think of the 4 cups when I see that. Yes, and now I see retina. So this is all about crown chakra energy. So I definitely would say that you communicating again like with that elder or ancestor that is very wise would be very beneficial for you, or even your spirit guide as well. Yes, reconsider. I definitely see that present with everything, literally everything we've been talking about. This is all about you reconsidering a person, opportunity, or essence and reincorporating it into your life. Now we have 66, and with this is definitely again reconsidering. I always see the number 6 as the chance to reflect. You have the 6 of Cups as the heart of your reading, so it's definitely about that notion of reflection. And oh yes, again we have remember. So this is definitely about remembrance, a 10, and being able to release the past accordingly, because it is not the present, nor is it the future. It serves as an explanation of the present, but it does not define the present. And I think that is going to be a helpful mantra to keep you honest and centered with yourself, my beautiful heart collective. So that is what I'm seeing for you throughout this Mercury retrograde. I did really enjoy your reading. Very much was in the theme of just what exactly it is to live amidst the chaos of a Mercury retrograde, but definitely take your time throughout this process. Don't rush to any conclusions or decisions or actions. Take your time, take all the time that you need to reflect before you come to compromise. But know that any time that you take to build is definitely not time wasted, and you are existing in accordance with divine timing and with your highest good. So do let me know down below in the comments if this resonates with you, if you want to check back in and with after these next few weeks and see just how exactly it all plays out, or if you have any other further questions or concerns, you could also leave that down below. Feel free to like and subscribe if you're digging my little channel that I got, my little FM that I got going on here, my tune, my frequency. As always, it was a pleasure to sit and chat with you today. Thank you so much for taking time to sit with me as well. Please take care of yourselves, take care of those around you, stay safe, stay blessed, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye. Hello to all of you who have chosen the Star Collective and Rosemary as your corresponding herb for today's messages. So let's go right on ahead and dive into what it is that we got going on for this Mercury retrograde. I see that we have a message from the last group that I did not put away. So let me reshuffle her accordingly. And while I do that, let me just let you know the general gist of what we got going on. So I want to really focus in on how we're able to utilize love as our tool throughout this retrograde, using it as the light to see in the dark, so to speak. Gaining further clarity and information from the love that surround us, so we are able to best handle any situations, whether they be sticky or not, that arise throughout these next few weeks. Because I know that the name of the game of Mercury retrograde is to kind of throw us off balance a little bit, but we don't have to necessarily fall to the ground. I think that if we're able to remain rooted and grounded as these circumstances present themselves, we're able to better communicate and interact from a place of understanding ourselves, most importantly, and then moving forward accordingly and utilizing the past as fuel for the present and future. Right? I think that's a good enough little shuffle that we got. So yeah, I have a little switch up today. So not only do I have my handy dandy tarot, but I also do have these collective messages, which is what I was shuffling incessantly in the background. I normally have a cute little wand, but I'm not entirely sure where it is, so I have my handy dandy Death Note pencil instead. It's gonna be our little stick, or little wand I should say, to guide us forward. But hey, it's written messages and the pencil is mightier than the sword, so why not, right? So let me go right ahead and get on into this tarot and see what my Star Collective, my beautiful star in the night sky, what can they expect throughout this Mercury retrograde, and how are they able to move forward with love and compassion. Alright, automatically we have the Page of Pentacles present as the heart of your reading. So I definitely think that the theme of this retrograde will be about you seeing the opportunities that present themselves to you. But of course, let's get further tarot. If you feel as if you are a bit of a novice in some area of your life, I think that this retrograde is going to highlight that. Yes, with the Knight of Swords here. I definitely think that this is about you working smarter, not harder, and seeing the loopholes in the opportunities and ideas or even responsibilities that you engage with on a day-to-day basis, seeing how you can do things a little bit more efficiently, if anything. Oh yes. And how you are able to better understand yourself throughout the circumstance. Again, we have another pentacle coin. Okay, so yeah, your bottom deck energy is strength. Lovely. Overcoming any and all perceived obstacles or challenges that present themselves, and utilizing the beauty and strength of the notion of balance and duality to your advantage, especially with the Knight of Wands serving underneath that. I definitely think that there is a deliverance of some sort of opportunity for you to further express yourself or gain a higher stance or opportunity within some sort of field of work that you're engaged in. I think it'll happen very suddenly as well. I don't think that you'll be really anticipating it, but in order for you to really speed up that process, I think that throughout this retrograde, you communicating your ideas will be very big. And I think that you taking your time to communicate these ideas, and I think that that notion of balance and duality that I was hinting at with the strength card that came out comes from you weaving your inner and external worlds, my beautiful star collective. I think it starts with you looking at how your physical world and inner world are currently balancing, and you being able to see the opportunities that present themselves as means for you to further merge them together with the Ace of Coins here. I also think with the Tower presenting itself, the Tower is all about rebirth. Even if it's very sudden and it tends to knock a few things down, the only thing that it's knocking down is anything that isn't substantial. So I think that you reading the fine print very clearly with yourself and with others, especially opportunities throughout this retrograde, is very important. So that way, if there's anything that you see within some sort of contract or agreement with another person or entity, you're able to address it before it manifests into a larger problem. I don't think that people are necessarily out to slight you. I think that you are just very assured of your worth, and you know exactly what it is that you want, and you are not willing to settle for anything less, which I think is a very wonderful energy to be in. But in order for you to gain everything from this new opportunity, I think that you have to be able to ensure that you are satisfied, not just materially, but emotionally as well. I think that you need to ensure that the decision that you make and you embark on are necessary in order for you to grow as a person, in order for you to achieve a higher sense of emotional fulfillment and interpersonal understanding as well. I think that it's also going to show you a lot about what exactly it is that you're made of, so to speak. What exactly it is that you are capable of achieving as a person. But I think that the fear of failure, or the fear of everything crumbling before it even begins, is what holds you back from engaging with a stronger force. Because I'm not only am I seeing the Ace of Coins, but I'm also seeing the Knight of Swords too. So there is a more evolved energy to you, even if this is something that you feel as if it's a bit new, or you feel as if it's something that you're not entirely sure of being able to handle. I think that you are able to handle it. I think that it has a lot to teach you about yourself, and how to be patient with yourself, and how to grow and build at your own pace, and how to really set a strong precedent for yourself within your endeavors, my beautiful star collective. I almost called you my eye collective. I'm so sorry. But I think that's what is key here. You seeing yourself for all that you are, and utilizing that to go forward. I do remember these two cards coming out for a previous recording that I did. I don't know if it's the one that I re-recorded, or if it's the last full moon and Leo reading that I did. I'm not entirely sure, but what I do know is that there is a collective drive to ensure that we are fulfilled on all levels, and I think that these next few weeks are going to highlight that for you. I also think that if there is a challenge, or like a sudden breakthrough of news or energy, it may be a bit hard to decipher at first. I definitely think it's going to come in very suddenly and swiftly, because it's being clarified by the Knight of Swords. So I definitely think that there's some energy that's pending. If you're waiting on something, if you're waiting on some sort of let's say even if you live in the United States, perhaps you're waiting on a check, or perhaps you're waiting on your tax forms to come in. I think they're going to come in. Or even if you're again, if you live in the United States and you are awaiting your stimulus, I think that that's going to be what helps you really get your feet off the ground and drive you closer to home, basically, and assure you of the steps that you need to take to build a promising future for yourself. I did want to get one more card to clarify. Yeah, we have the Three of Wands now at the bottom of the deck, and now we have the Queen of Swords. Yeah, so you are a powerful group. I was getting that earlier. I'm like, I don't think that you're pages, though. I don't think that you're children. And thought, I think that perhaps you have a very playful side to you, but you tend to put on a more hardened exterior, especially with the Queen of Swords here. I think that you are wonderful, noble people, and you really stick by your truth. And I think that you are beginning to playfully engage in new means of expressing your truth, and finding new methods of deliverance as well. Even if this is simply how you carry yourself in the workplace, I think that you simply doing that is enough to grant you a new opportunity to move forward, or even switching your position in your workplace. For some of you, like, that might be a very sudden opportunity that presents itself, and I feel like you might be unsure if it's worth taking, and I think so. If you're waiting on some sort of investment to take off, I think that it will, and I think that it's something you should keep your eyes on. But you made a good decision. Just be very firm in that decision, and ensure that you are flexible, even if your intention is very firm and rigid. If this has nothing to do with that, and this is more so just about you finding new means to simply express yourself, I think that by you engaging in different ways to ground yourself and engage in the world around you, exploring the world around you for what it is, the physical world for what it is, perhaps even working more so with essences of nature to help ground you might be very helpful. Not just, taking a walk in a park, but also working with herbs, working with essential oils, working with crystals as well, I'm hearing for some of you. Utilizing whatever it is that you can to, that is a resonance of the earth, to kind of just tap in, so to speak, and see what exactly it is that there is to learn about you. And perhaps there's so much more you can learn about expressing yourself in the process, utilizing playful means of expression and transforming it into something that's lucrative. I feel like that's kind of like your tower aha moment that comes to you, especially with the Three of Wands here, like not realizing that this is something that you can do. This is something that's very new for you, though. It's not something that's lingering of the past. I think that if something does deliver from the past, it's meant for you to start something new. Especially, with the Two of Swords here, I don't think that it's something you have to be indecisive about. I think you're making the right decision. I think that you don't have to be bound by the past. I think that this is something new, and this is something that is going to ensure you a sense of fulfillment. And I think that you have a very logical mind, and that you're very sharp, and you're very assured of yourselves, which is why I said you have a very sharp mind earlier, and then the Queen of Swords came out. So don't doubt your mind. Don't doubt its fortitude, because it's correct most of the time. But I think that if you have any indecision that's here, I think that it's just you being a bit uncomfortable with something being new. I don't think that it's reflective of any hiccups or discrepancies in the forecast. I think it's simply you being the cautious character that you are, and knowing that how things can move quietly and loudly at the same time, and there's nothing wrong with having that. That's a strength, actually. Speaking of, and the strength was also your original bottom deck. So about utilizing your strengths and weaknesses accordingly, reflecting honestly on your strengths and weaknesses, being very honest with yourself about them, and utilizing both as means to propel you forward, my star collective. You know, there isn't any perceived weakness in you engaging in this opportunity. In fact, there's so much more to gain than there is to lose. I'm getting the card that fell on the floor. Yes, here we have the Five of Pentacles here. There's a fear of loss. There's a fear that if you take this opportunity, you'll be wasting your time. Especially with the swords here. Swords are so logical and rational that they really don't know what decision to make at times because they are so afraid of wasting time. Yes, the Ace of Swords immediately popped out to me. So that is the truth of the matter. But I don't think there's failure here. I think that you carrying yourself with integrity is important. I think that you are afraid that people will perceive your weaknesses as something to take advantage of as well, if not the fear of loss and you engaging in this new opportunity. I think that you're afraid that people will see that you're engaging in something new and that they'll perceive you as weak and poke with you. But I think that it's just a matter of you opening up opportunity and possibility. That is the theme of you engaging in this, especially with temperance. Temperance is about embracing new philosophies, embracing the idea of alchemy, of entities existing as their own and then coming together or fusing together to form something greater. I think that by you fusing your strengths and weaknesses, you are able to evolve into a higher state of knowing, being, and communicating with the universe at large, and that you are able to better gravitate towards opportunities that are meant to serve your enhancement and growth throughout this plane. You communicating a lot more honestly with those around you. Yes, judgment. This is definitely about soul callings here. So this is definitely meant to drive you to a higher state of being, for sure, a higher state of living and existing on this plane. This is meant for you to grow accordingly. This is all about that soul calling, getting that calling from higher dimensions that it's time to evolve and ascend. And I think this is your time to ascend. This is the time for you to be very open with yourself about who you are, and being very open with other people too, even with a colleague perhaps, or with the people around you. I think that you engaging in a different method of communication will be very big for you throughout this retrograde, my beautiful star collective, especially now that we have the Six of Coins present. So with Six of Pentacles, I definitely always feel that theme of reciprocation. You kind of you give what you get, but I think this is about you definitely recalibrating and balancing the energy that you store within and utilizing that as fuel for your potential to reach an environment and general purpose that is aligned with your soul's ambition and mission on this plane, basically. Yes, your bottom deck energy is the Queen of Wands. So there is definitely determination here. There is a lot of determination present. We have two queens, two beautiful queens that we will never pit against each other present in this reading. And I think it's just about embracing that, embracing, you know, the lightheartedness of the Queen of Wands and the very stoic, rational nature of the Queen of Swords, and acknowledging that there are nuances in between both figures. You know, they're not always all as they appear. There's so much more that lies between. Yeah, but especially now with the King of Swords, that very quiet, analytical, observant character. I think that you're taking time to observe before you embark on a decision will be important, especially with the Ace of Swords here, and then the Six of Pentacles. It's kind of as if you're building upon your vulnerabilities as you continue to observe yourself. I think you building upon a former I think this is about you building upon an idea of yourself, or a version of yourself, I should say, especially with the King of Cups here, that you feel as if you had to kind of leave behind somewhere in the past, I think that there's so much more room present for all of you because you went from being a page to a king. So I definitely think there's so much within your emotional world to explore throughout this retrograde, especially as these opportunities present themselves. And I think that it's going to allow you to explore both your internal and physical world at large and give them more of a chance to catch up, basically. I also see that with the Six of Pentacles here, there's going to be a greater sense of balance achieved by you doing so. With the Four of Wands, there's two staffs on each side, so there's definitely a redistribution or distribution, I should say, generally, of passion and sociability, whether it be within your own internal dialogue or with the people around you. But I do think a lot of this is internal for you, my Star Collective. I think this has a lot to do about you transmuting anything that you perceive to be like some sort of shortcoming within yourself. Yes, releasing burden. So you can release those burdens accordingly and not feel so bogged down by your own weight. And for you to engage in something that's a little bit more lighthearted. That's what I think that it is. I think that you're so used to being in this very serious energy, or you have been, that this retrograde is coming in, and it's allowing you to be in your emotions and play around a little bit. Not be in your emotions in a way that is difficult. Even though I do see the Five of Pentacles here, I see that as you not wanting to be left out or feel left out, because we see a building here because we see the Six of Pentacles that also has come out, and Judgment as well. So this is calling for you to have no fear about feeling left out, or you leaving out any versions of yourself, to be precise. I think that you incorporating all that you are throughout this period of time will be very important for you. Yeah, especially with the Lovers here. I definitely see this as duality in your case, or even if it has anything to do with other people. Being honest with other people about everything that you're feeling. I think that you are people that have a lot of emotions but don't express them accordingly. I think that if anything, this is the great time for you to express your emotional state, especially if this has to do with you moving moving forward with other people, even if this doesn't necessarily have to do with some sort of a collaborative or lucrative opportunity or job opportunity. I think that if you are simply looking to gain a stronger sense of balance with other people, especially with the King of Cups here, he's very considerate of the people around him. The Queen of Wands, that, like we saw earlier, is a very sociable figure. We also saw Strength earlier for your bottom deck energy, and that's very much about yin and yang, having a balance of energies and a balance of general ambition. So I think that in order for you to feel closer to your current plane of existence, it starts with you stepping out of your usual energy and stepping into something that's a little bit more lighthearted. But I think you need that to feel recalibrated, and to also allow in people and opportunities that are meant to nurture you and appreciate you and your truth, and appreciate how serious and also fun you can be. People that see that balance, and you allowing that balance to be seen, is very big for you, my beautiful Star Collective. Allowing all parts of you to be seen. And I also definitely think that this is how you release a lot of burden too, because you feel as if you always have to keep up the face, so to speak, or keep up appearances, keep up the appearance of this very firm character. But I think by you allowing other people to see you as something a little bit softer than that, there is a lot to gain from that, and I feel like it'll also really help you grow as a person. Yes, fortune meets opportunity. Black cat, seeing. I definitely always see this card as seeing between the lines. You know, not everything as it seems. There always is so many negative connotations with black cats, but I have a wonderful relationship with them. They serve as familiars for me, or messengers, so to speak. So I think that forgiveness, exactly, reducing burden. So for some of you, perhaps you may need to apologize to people because you feel as if you've been in this serious energy, and you haven't been able to really release that accordingly. I think that you are being given the opportunity to make amends with a few people, or be very honest about where your mental or emotional state was at the time. Perhaps you said something that was a little too cutthroat, but you didn't say it with bad intentions at all. You said it simply because that's just where your mind was at the time, and you were simply moving forward with the information that you had in the best way that you knew in that moment. But you've changed. You've changed, especially with that page of pentacles here. Yes, joy, rejoicing in the present. You've changed, and it's time for you to really celebrate how much you've changed, my star collective. Celebrate how much you've changed. Celebrate the light that you retain. You know, you don't have to be so, what's the word I'm looking for? Serious. Literally, you don't have to be so serious all the time. And I think by you forgiving yourself as well, for having fun will be a theme, because for a lot of you, I feel as if you're just so serious, and that when you're engaging in light hormones, you're like, oh, but I could be utilizing this time to do this and this and that or that instead. But I'm like, no, I think you need to take this time to be lighthearted and to feel your emotions accordingly. Talk to a few people if you need to, and express your sentiments and emotions, and come to common ground. Yes, the Songbird Night Song, Hidden Talents. Ooh, hill. So I definitely always see, this is a cardinal, by the way. Cardinals are definitely messengers. They're messages from ancestors, reminders that they are always watching you and guiding you and loving you throughout your process. And perhaps again, hidden talents. I think that, like I was saying earlier, you being in this lighthearted emotional state will bring through an idea or general activity that you didn't know you were capable of doing. Exactly, Winter, the sacredness of pausing. So I think that you, again, pausing this very serious act and coming into a state of being that is, oh yes, the ancestors. So this is definitely a message from your guides, or perhaps even talking to your guides throughout this time will be very helpful for you. That's a message that I got across the board for every group. Well, we do have Mercury in Aquarius, which is crown chakra energy, very much attuned to the metaphysical world. So I think everyone needs to really buckle in and talk to their counsel accordingly to gain further information. I think that's a very big theme throughout this retrograde, specifically this specific retrograde at that. But with ancestors present at the bottom, I definitely think that they can also help you gain a better understanding of who you are by taking the time to talk to them and knowing that they'll never judge you. They are here to love you and accept you and honor you for all that you are. They appreciate your strength. They appreciate your resilience. They love your rational mind and your authenticity. Yes, exactly. Now we have emotional intelligence. And they also love how you are willing to engage in this deeper part of yourself and encourage you to do so. Yes, where all things pause and beginning. And it is time for you to pick up on your sense of nourishment and find new means of fulfilling and energizing your soul accordingly. And I think that you being so much more open to the love that surrounds you is key. And, you know, rekindling with your ancestors or with people that just get you will be very helpful throughout this time, and will be beneficial in you releasing a lot of burdens that you are currently retaining, and not make you feel as if you have to always keep that face and hold everything in and not say a word. I feel like just by you vocalizing how you're feeling, that's enough to take the weight off. I feel like you're very strong people, my Star Collective, and that's an extremely beautiful quality to have. And I think that you embracing your strengths and weaknesses right now is going to make you even stronger throughout this time. So let's go ahead and get some messages from my little bowl, from my Star Collective for this Mercury Retrograde. What can we expect, and how can we move forward with love and compassion? Alright, I think that's good. Actually, let me see. You sure? No. Okay. Now that's good. Okay. I just had to make sure. I said, you sure? Let's see what we got. We got 2. Yes, this is definitely all about seeing the opportunity to deepen something, seeing the opportunity to deepen meaningful connections. I think of like 2 of Cups, the 2 of Wands. So I definitely think that's meant for you to come closer to your soul's purpose and mission with the 9 card here. 9 cards are all about coming to realizations, not necessarily coming to an ending, but coming to important realizations about the self that are imperative to your happy ending, so to speak. And now we have the number 12 here. And when I say number 12, that breaks down to the number 3. So I definitely see this as a new cycle and new means of engaging and interacting with the world in a more meaningful way. One is about starting something new and starting something different, and number 2 is all about deepening that connection like we were talking about earlier. So doing something different with your connections will be a very big theme for you. Yes, number 77. I'm 7. Hi. So I definitely think that with the number 77 here, this is all about spiritual wisdom and enlightenment, and allowing yourself to gain wisdom from this. Oh my God, we have ancestors, and now we have blood here with number 1 again. So I think that you reaching out to your family will definitely be beneficial for you. If not your family, like I said, your ancestors or loved ones that you know are watching over you, or perhaps guardian figures. I think that you being very open about that perhaps you didn't have the best of conversations the last time that you spoke, or perhaps you have a few things to make amends with them, or perhaps you even want to just like check up on them and see how they are and apologize for not being as present because you were very caught up in acquiring a stronger stance for yourself. I think that you reaching out will be so important. That's just you being very lighthearted and honest and integral in your own way. With the 99 here, again, you have a lot of repeating numbers for your particular group Star Collective. I definitely see this. You're almost there. You're almost there. You know that there's opportunity to expand on the horizon, and I think that you, by taking the opposite approach, like not working harder, but actually you being lighthearted is work in itself. Especially with the 66 here. This is all about reconsideration and reconsidering your current mode of operation and doing something a little bit differently. I feel like that's going to be helpful. Yes, and now we have retribution present. This is all about birth, about finding redemption within yourself. And I think that this is you simply birthing your emotional world into the physical world and allowing it to be seen, and gaining a sense of retribution in yourself by being very honest with your vulnerabilities and strengths and all that you are, and not being ashamed at all of all that you are. So that's what I'm seeing for you, my beautiful Star Collective. I hope this resonates for you. Feel free to leave a comment in the description down below if it does, or if you want to come back in a few weeks after this little retrograde plays out, you can let me know then. Or if you have any other questions or concerns, I'd love to hear those as well. Also feel free to like and subscribe if you're digging my little frequency that I'm giving off over here. I appreciate all the support. I appreciate you so much for sitting in and taking time with me. Thank you so much for being here with me. I'm so happy to be here for you. Please take care of yourself, stay safe, stay blessed, and I will see you soon. Bye.